Have you ever wondered if the version of yourself you show the world is a lie? You smile when you want to scream. You agree when you secretly disagree. You perform kindness, even when your chest is full of bitterness. And it's not because you're fake. It's because, like everyone else, you've learned to wear a mask. Carl Jung called this mask the persona, a psychological shell built to meet the world's expectations. At first, it protects you. Eventually, it imprisons you. In this video, you'll uncover how the persona traps you inside a false identity, how it sabotages your relationships, numbs your emotions, and silences your potential. If you've ever felt the exhaustion of people-pleasing, the emptiness of performance, or the quiet agony of not knowing who you really are beneath it all, this video might change the way you see your entire life. We'll dive into Jung's brutal truths, explore the dark side of fake goodness, and begin the path back to something you may have forgotten even exists: your true self. You weren't born wearing a mask. As a child, you spoke your mind, cried without shame, and lived without pretense. But somewhere along the way, the world taught you that being yourself was risky, that honesty was dangerous, that to be accepted, you had to edit yourself. So you adapted. You became the easygoing one, the strong one, the funny one. You learned to smile politely, suppress anger, and nod along to keep the peace. You built a version of yourself designed not for truth, but for approval. Jung called this version the persona, a social mask, not inherently bad, but profoundly limiting. It serves a purpose. It helps you function. But when you begin to believe the mask is who you are, the real danger begins. You lose contact with your inner voice. You silence your instincts. You perform the role others expect, sometimes so well, you forget it's a role. You may be praised, respected, even loved, but deep down, something feels off. A quiet disconnection you can't quite name. That disconnection is the cost of the mask. But it's not just about what you hide. It's about what the persona hides from you. And that's what we'll explore next. The persona becomes dangerous not when it hides you, but when you forget there's anything underneath. Jung warned that identifying with the persona leads to what he called inner hollowness. You stop being a person and start being a performance. You laugh when expected. You say what's polite. You become whatever the moment demands, without ever asking yourself if it's real. Your goodness might not be virtue. It might be fear. Fear of being disliked. Fear of rejection. Fear of standing out. So you offer kindness not because it's authentic, but because it's safe. And over time, safety becomes suffocation. You feel emotionally flat, spiritually disconnected, and strangely tired, even if your life looks perfect. This isn't burnout from doing too much. It's the exhaustion of never being yourself. You're not broken, but you are trapped. And what's even more terrifying, the persona doesn't just hide your truth. It also hides something darker, something Jung believed we must all confront if we want to be whole. Behind every mask is a shadow. Jung believed that the persona has a twin, the shadow, the part of you that contains everything you've repressed, denied, or disowned. Your anger, your selfishness, your jealousy, your lust. Everything you've been taught is bad or unacceptable is living there, in the dark. And the more polished your persona is, the more helpful, kind, and virtuous you appear, the more repressed your shadow becomes. Fake goodness doesn't eliminate darkness. It just buries it. And buried things don't die, they fester. This is why some of the kindest people you know are also the most passive-aggressive. Why those who always say yes erupt in rage behind closed doors. Why the most spiritual sometimes fall the hardest. You cannot amputate your darkness. You can only integrate it. True wholeness doesn't mean being endlessly nice. It means becoming honest. And honesty requires facing what you've tried so hard to hide, even from yourself. So how do you begin to loosen the grip of the persona without shattering your life? Jung never said you should destroy the persona. He said you should stop worshiping it. The process he called individuation is not about rejecting your roles. It's about realizing they're not the whole story. It's about stepping out of unconscious performance and into conscious choice. It's about living from your center not your costume. And it begins with observation. Start to notice when you're performing, when you're saying yes to avoid conflict, when your words are crafted for applause instead of truth. Just notice. Awareness is the beginning of liberation. You might feel uncomfortable, even guilty. That's good. That means the mask is loosening. This process isn't easy. And if this video is resonating with you, you're already on that path. Subscribe if you haven't, because these ideas won't just challenge you, they'll change you. The goal isn't to be perceived as good, it's to be whole, to stop outsourcing your soul to the expectations of others. But don't expect this path to be comfortable, because it will cost you. Here's a truth most people avoid. When you stop performing, some people will leave. When you stop saying yes, stop smiling on command, stop pretending to be who they want, you'll lose people who were only ever in love with your mask. And that hurts. Jung understood this pain. He said that individuation often leads to loneliness, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're finally doing something real. Growth will cost you your comfort. It will cost you your approval ratings. It might even cost you some relationships. But what you get in return is your soul. You start to hear your own voice again. You start making decisions from truth instead of fear. You stop performing and start living. Not everyone can do this. Not everyone wants to. But if you're still watching this, maybe a deeper part of you is already beginning. And in this final chapter, we'll explore what life looks like when the persona no longer runs the show. Imagine waking up and not needing to be liked. Not because you're bitter, but because you're free. Living beyond the persona doesn't mean rejecting society. It means showing up as your whole self. Not always agreeable, not always polished, but always real. It means letting your no be honest, letting your yes be wholehearted, letting your actions come from the truth of who you are, not the role you're supposed to play. Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But privilege comes with responsibility. And the first step is this. Stop letting the mask speak for you. Don't kill the persona. Don't throw it away. But stop obeying it. Use it when it serves your truth. Set it down when it doesn't. Every step toward authenticity is a step out of fear and into freedom. So I'll leave you with one final question. Who are you when no one's watching? Think about that.